The studio lights dimmed softly as the band finished their familiar tune on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. The audience applauded, but something felt different that night, quieter, heavier, like the room itself was holding its breath. Johnny Carson stepped onto the stage, his usual confident smile in place, but his eyes told another story. He adjusted his tie, glanced at the crowd, and for a brief second, he hesitated. "Tonight," he began, his voice softer than usual, "we have a very special guest. Not a movie star, not a politician, but someone who reminds us what really matters." The curtains parted slowly. A young boy, no older than 8, walked onto the stage. He looked small under the bright lights, clutching a worn baseball cap in his hands. The audience, sensing something deeper, fell silent. Johnny walked over, kneeling beside him. "What's your name, son?" he asked gently. "Daniel," the boy whispered. Johnny smiled. "Daniel, I hear you're a big fan of the show." The boy nodded. "I watch you every night, even when I'm not supposed to be awake." A soft ripple of laughter moved through the audience, but it quickly faded when Johnny placed a comforting hand on Daniel's shoulder. "You know," Johnny said, his voice trembling slightly, "Daniel been very brave. He's been fighting something much bigger than any of us." The room grew still. Some people already understood. Daniel looked up at Johnny. "I just wanted to meet you before." He paused, the word wouldn't come. Johnny swallowed hard. "Before what, kid?" he asked, though he already knew. "Before I go," Daniel said quietly. The silence that followed was deafening. Johnny Carson, known for his wit, his timing, his ability to make millions laugh, stood there completely still. For once there was no joke, no clever remark. Just a man and a moment. He gently took off his own jacket and draped it over Daniel's shoulders. "Well," Johnny said, forcing a soft smile, "you're not going anywhere tonight. Tonight you're the star of the show." The audience erupted into applause, but many were wiping away tears. Johnny led Daniel to his desk and let him sit in the host's chair. "Go ahead," Johnny said, "ask me anything." Daniel smiled for the first time. "Are you ever scared?" he asked. Johnny paused. "Yes," he admitted, "but I've learned being scared just means you care about something." Daniel nodded thoughtfully. "Then I think it's okay," he said. The simplicity of that answer hit harder than any speech ever could. For the rest of the night, the show changed. There were no scripted jokes, no planned segments. Just Johnny and Daniel talking about baseball, about school, about dreams. And for a little while, the world slowed down. As the show came to an end, Johnny stood beside Daniel one last time. "You've reminded all of us tonight," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "that courage doesn't always look big. Sometimes it looks like a kid in a baseball cap walking onto a stage without fear." The audience stood, giving Daniel a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. Johnny placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "Thank you, Daniel." The lights faded. The applause echoed. And somewhere in that moment, millions of people watching at home realized something they would never forget. Sometimes the most powerful stories don't come from celebrities. They come from the smallest voices with the biggest hearts.